Okay. Hopefully. Okay. Okay. All right. Get something to drink. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay, I'm not sure what that says, but all right. Hi, how are you? Sun. Ooh, how are you? Happy that you are here. Please make sure that you like the live on the way in. So, I have not been live in a month. The last time I was live is last month. Oh, I'm good. You're so pretty. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. So I haven't been live in a month. So I like to go live. Thank you so much for liking the live. I like to go live to show you guys my hair routine because this is a hair channel. I am on a hair journey. First of all, welcome to Fortune Tresses. I'm all back with tonight, well, this morning, or whatever time it is, wherever you are. Thank you. Thank you so much. Um, so I like to go live to show you guys my hair routine and show you what I'm doing with my hair. I am on a healthy, relaxed hair journey. So I try to do healthy things with my hair. So one of the things that I do with my hair, I make sure that I keep my hair moisturized because if I do not keep my hair moisturized, it will dry out and start breaking off. So I like to bring uh my moisturizing routine, show you guys how what I'm doing with my hair, how I'm taking care of my hair. I like to bring that to you guys. So tonight I am using a liquid conditioner. So I am using S Curl No Drip Curl Activator Moisturizer. This is moisturizer right here. I am also using a cream. I'm using Mazzoni Hairdress Coconut Souffle. That's this right here. And the oil that I'm locking all that in is peppermint and coconut oil. And if you've been over here, you know that I am a big fan of peppermint and coconut oil. So that is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start my hair routine and I'm going to start talking about what we are here to talk about while I do my hair routine. All right. So it has been a lot going on all over social media. All over social media. If you are big on social media, then you already know. So it's just crazy to me that these content creators between YouTube, TikTok, I haven't really seen it on Instagram too much, but mainly on YouTube and TikTok, all these top big content creators, um, they're claiming that they are homeless. They're claiming that they're going broke. They're trying to get you to send your money to them because they are so broke and destitute and homeless. And it's like very unbelievable to me because just last week you were flexing, showing, you know what I'm saying, you going here, you going there, you going out of the country. Like, and it's a lot of them. It's not one content creator, it's a lot of content creators that are doing this. And it's just very weird to me. It's very weird to me. It's almost like everybody got the same email or something. It was an email sent out secretly, and whoever sent the email said like, there's a homeless train going on, so yeah, put out homeless content. And all of a sudden, everywhere you turn, wherever you turn, I'm homeless. I'm living in a car with my kids. I need you guys to support me. I need your help. They're about to repossess my car. Like, it's just really crazy to me. And it just makes you wonder. It really makes you wonder, like, what is really going on here? Like, is there some um secret trend that's going on? Like, and it's just really hard to believe that these creators are so big. I mean, these are creators 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, like 500,000 subscribers. And these big creators, they're telling people, hey, quit your job and start YouTube, or quit your job and do social media. And it's so funny because last week you was telling everybody to quit their job, and this week you saying you broke and destitute. And then the week after, now you back to being glamorous and fabulous after everybody to send you their money, which is really crazy to me. Um, it's just it just don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Like, in the times that we are in right now, like, everybody, I don't care who you are, everybody is struggling right now. Everybody. And at this point, it's not even about like how much money you make, because the more money you make, the more money you don't have for real. So it's like, in the times that we are in, it's like they are really tone deaf to what's going on. And it's like they pulling on the heartstrings of their supporters. Like, it's great to have supporters. It is wonderful to have supporters. That's really great. And in times of need, if you really, really need your supporters like that, that's awesome that you have supporters that's going to look out for you. But when you start taking advantage of people, like when people really see, like, okay, all right, they looking at you like, oh my God, like, he's homeless, he don't have nowhere to go, he's living out his car, or she's homeless, she don't have nowhere to go, she got her kids in the car, and they really, really send you money and really try to help you out and everything. And then the next week they're looking at you and you're back on top of the world. It's like, why are you playing with people like that? It's not right. I swear, it's not right. It's not right at all. People shouldn't play with people like that. They really shouldn't. Like, it's not right. But people that don't have a conscience, people that really don't care about people, whatever, like, they're going to do whatever. They're going to do anything and everything. And I think it's just so wrong. Now, me, myself, and I would never be a one to get taken advantage of by these bigger content creators. Because first of all, you got tons of subscribers. Second of all, you getting paid from YouTube. Like, there's a lot of restrictions, not even just YouTube, TikTok, whatever platform you on. You getting paid from these platforms or whatever. So, like, I can't feel sorry for you. I can't feel sorry for you. And then I understand that things are changing on social media, all over social media. Like, TikTok is getting a lot of restrictions, like a lot of different restrictions. I knew that was coming when they went through the whole ban thing, and I knew that all of the restrictions and stuff was coming. So I get it. If you put a video out there, maybe your video might not make no money or whatever, but at the end of the day, you're still making money off of some of the videos that you put out. So like you still have money coming in. One of the biggest issues I think that these bigger creators have is that they don't know how to budget and like budget and plan. Especially like if you only getting one check a month, you have to stretch that check out. And I think that they see all this money. They go from not seeing anything, and then they see all this money and they start spending like they really have it. So part of me do believe that this is not like a narrative. Part of me believe that it's honestly what's going on because people don't know how to budget and spend their money correctly. And if you are getting one check a month, then you need to budget better. And you need to understand, like, even if you see a large lump sum, that you don't have it like that. It looked like you got it like that, but you really don't have it like that. And you need to prioritize your priorities. Your priorities should be first. You shouldn't be having to come on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, wherever, and telling your supporters that you're homeless. Because the number one priority, your first priority when you get that money, your first priority is to take care of your living situation. Whether you renting, whether you bought a house, wherever you at, even if you are, roommating or living with somebody, you take care of your living situation first. That is the first thing you take care of. And then on down the line, you got a car, make sure you pay your car note. Like on down the line, I remember one creator I was watching at one point. She was saying that she made arrangements with her landlord because she get paid on the 21st. So basically, she was telling them like she was gonna pay her rent for, I guess, that particular month on the 21st because that's when she get paid. Like, no, you should be able to budget better than that. If you get paid on the 21st, then you pay your rent for that next month. Like, I'm not understanding it. And then these big creators that's seeing large sums of money, like you can pay your rent in advance. You can pay your rent 2-3 months in advance, or your mortgage or whatever, or your car note. You can pay this stuff in advance. See, people see all this money and they want to start flexing and showing off. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Like, we need to stop doing all that flexing and showing off, trying to make it seem like it's better than what it is. Like, do what you got to do, especially if you got kids, especially if you got kids. And I don't know. It's just so much I see, and I just can't believe people are so. I want to say evil because I really feel like that's evil. Like, to come to a platform and tell a sob story and make people feel sorry for you so they can send you money. And then they send you money, and then next week you done got your hair done. Like, you flexing nails and stuff. Like, and then you doing all this or whatever. But last week you was just talking about how you was homeless. Like, it's really mind-boggling to me. And it's really sad. It's really sad. But like I said, like, I would never be one to get taken advantage of because, like, yeah, we're all going through something, and we all got stuff going on, and some of us, we have our own families and kids to take care of. So like, I don't have it. I don't have it. I'm not doing it. I don't have it. But my heart goes out to the ones that do get taken advantage of. My heart goes out to the ones that do go for this "I'm homeless" narrative, or my car about to be repossessed, or I lost everything. Like, I feel sorry for the ones, and my heart goes out to the ones that do fall for the narrative. Now, there are people, it must be people out here, and I don't see them, but it must be people out here that just have plenty of money and just like to throw it away. It must be. What's up, Auntie? How are you? Quandell, how are you? Thank you, Cameron. Thank you so much. So, like, yeah, that is just, it's not right. It's really not right. But I know some people just don't have a conscience, but me, I could never be one of those to take advantage of people. Like, if something going on in my life, I might come back and tell you after I go, through it or whatever and everything. But I'm not like, and then to ask people to help you out in your situation. And, that's why you got different services and places out there for that reason alone. You know what I'm saying? And then like people that really, really need it, that's what it makes it bad for, because people that really, really need the help, and somebody do, let's say they do go on one of their platforms and they really need the help because one of these people got taken advantage of before, they just be like, oh, whatever, bye, scroll. I'm not, yeah, like it makes it really bad for people that really are going through stuff, because there are services out here, but in the day and age that we're in today, I would say you have to utilize your community. And if you do have a big following, that's your community. That's your community. And there are people that have it like that. I don't know none, but there are people that have it like that, and they like to send money and stuff. But it just makes me upset when I see what it is, and it's like other people don't see it. They believe it. They believe it. It's so many of them. Like, I'm not even going to name any names. It's like a lot of them. It's a lot of them between YouTube and TikTok. I really don't be on Instagram like that, so I really don't see it on Instagram or Facebook like that for real. But between YouTube and TikTok, yeah, I see it a lot. I see it a lot. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that real quick. So, let me get into my story time. And because I have been homeless, so I know what it is to be actually homeless. So, I just wrapped up, well, not, I think well, yeah, I just wrapped up um some shorts. I did a live a while back on a mom that was actually homeless and living in a van with her kids and her mom. It was seven of them living in that van or whatever. But I'm not gonna go into details. But in that live, I did say that I have been homeless before, so I know what it is to be homeless. And I said I was gonna talk about that in a little story time. So tonight or this morning, because this morning now, I'm gonna talk about that. So, I had been homeless one time in my life before. Um, it was it was by my own choice. Let me say that. So I was 18. I had my son that is now 25. He was, I think he was about one. He was about one. I think he wasn't quite one yet because I had him when I was 17. Um, so I was living with my mom. And when I was a lot younger, like me and my mom, we used to go through a lot for real. It's just really funny to me to think like me and my mom are so close now because I grew up and I got to look back and see what it really was. But when I was young, me and my mother, we used to go back and forth all the time. Like, I really thought my mother was my enemy. I really thought that. So, I was in with my mom. I had a baby. He was almost one. And we had this argument, and it was so petty. It was the smallest thing. I do believe it was over a phone or whatever. When I was younger, once I turned like 16, my mother got me my own phone line or whatever. Now, kids of the day will not be able to understand this, but yeah, if you in Gen X older, you would definitely understand. So we had a house phone, and my mother got me my own phone line. So like it was like the cord was stemming from her room, but it was my own line or whatever. So when I would not do something or whatever, and I be like, do my chores, do what I'm supposed to do. my mother would unplug my phone line and tell me I cannot use the phone. So at that time, the phone was everything to me. It was everything to me. That was my lifeline. Just like these kids, their phones, their cell phones are everything to them. My phone line was everything to me. So when my mother told me that, she took the cord out the phone line and told me I couldn't use the phone, like that really upset me. And I had a whole fit. So we had a whole argument. So then I started getting ideas in my head, like, I don't want to be here no more. Like, I'm sick of going through this. You getting on my nerves. Like, you treat me like a kid when I really was a kid. There was a lot of things going on. I was a teen mom or whatever. So, let me see. I was young. I was very young. So a lot of things that I didn't want to listen to my mother about. A lot of things when it came down concerning my son. I didn't know properly how to be a mother because I was young myself. So things that I didn't know my mother was trying to tell me, we clashed a lot when it came to how to take care of my son, what I needed to do for my son. One of the biggest thing that we clashed with is the fact that my son was one, he was coming into eating like table food and stuff. So my idea, being young like I was, okay, well, I'm gonna get him some baby food. Like, okay, he eating the milk, the Enfamil, whatever milk, baby formula he was on or whatever. Like, that's going. It's time for him to eat. I'm just gonna go to the store and get some baby food. But what my mother was trying to tell me is that, like, you don't know, far as money wise, it would be smarter if you buy food and cook the food and blend it up yourself, as opposed to going to the store and buying baby food. And furthermore, like, she was trying to explain to me, like, you don't even know what's in this baby food. But being young like I was, like, okay, well, I'm just gonna get this baby food. I ain't got time to be cooking and all this other stuff or whatever and everything. Like, she was trying to teach me life skills that I was going to need when I outside of her house. But being young and dumb, I fought my mother every step of the way. So it came a point where, as though my son, oh Lord, my son had a lot of issues when it came to like eating and stuff. And we didn't really figure out until later on. So he wasn't eating the food that I was giving him, basically. So there was some issues where, as though, he was underweight. And that's why I don't understand these people nowadays, whatever, because I'm gonna tell you, my family, if they think that a child is being mistreated, they gonna call CPS on you. They not gonna let a child just be mistreated, like, oh, okay, she's just young, and just let the child be mistreated. So my grandmother, when she got wind of what was going on, and seeing that my son was underweight, my grandmother, my blood grandmother, my mother's mother, called CPS on me. So it was a whole thing with that or whatever. So it was like I was rebelling a lot against what was going on, and my mother was telling me, like, you gotta cook food, and I wasn't trying to listen to that. So at the end of the day, like, I wanted to leave. I wanted to leave. So somehow, I don't know where I got this information from, who told me this information, because I was thinking about it the other day. Like, how did I, who told me about this? Like, so somehow, somewhere, somebody told me some things about Section 8 or whatever. And somewhere, like I said, I don't know who told me this or how I got this thought in my head, but basically, a little trick to get into Section 8 easily is to go stay in a shelter and then get on the Section 8 list. And this was back in the day, so I don't know if it works anymore. But this is what I remember back then or whatever. So go stay in a shelter, whatever, get on the Section wait list, whatever, and being though that you are considered homeless, they'll bump you up on the list and you'll have Section 8, like that, for real. So that was kind of like my plan for real. So I'm like, well, I ain't got to deal with this no more. I'm leaving. Like me and my baby, I'm getting me and my baby because I'm not leaving my baby here with you. Like the thoughts that I had in my head then, like I'm not leaving my baby here with you. Like I'm not doing that. So I'm getting me and my baby. Oh, thank you, Savage. Thank you so much. Um, so I'm getting me and my baby, and we getting up out of here. So she was trying to calm me down, like, don't take my grandson out of here, blah, 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 blah. So then I think she called the police. I do believe she called the police. So I was very determined to leave. Like I wasn't trying to hear none of that. So when the police came and they seen how young I was and I had a baby and everything, the police was like, where you gonna go at? So my little dumb self, I looked at the police like, well, I gotta get out of here. Me and my baby, we gonna stay in the shelter because I'm not about to deal with this no more. So the police was like, a shelter? Like, have you ever been to a shelter? I'm like, no, but that's where we gonna stay at. So they was like, a shelter is not a place for a baby to be at. You have a warm home here. Your mom is welcoming you, you and your baby. Everything is taken care of. It's cold outside. Blah, 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 blah. You need to stay here. So I'm like, I'm not staying here. So back then, my son father, I thought the world of him. I thought the world of him. I thought that he was everything. I thought he was everything. I thought that he was very, very powerful. I really, really did. I thought that I would call him and he would do everything. He would take care of everything. I don't know why I had these ideas in my head because some other stuff I'm not even going to go off topic or whatever. But yeah, I thought that he was everything. So I was like, all right, fine. After the police left, I was like, you know what? I'm going to call my baby daddy and he going to come and he going to take, our son or whatever. And I'm going to go about my business or whatever and get myself together. He going to take my son while I get myself together. So I called him. It was real late. Now, mind you, side note, whew, I didn't know at the time so much stuff or whatever, but I was the side chick. I was a side chick. Now, I did not realize to the degree of, well, maybe I did realize. I don't know. Anyway, I was a side chick. He actually was engaged to a woman. They had a kid together and they had a house together. So I called him. It was pretty late, probably like 8, 9, 10 o'clock or whatever. He actually answered the phone. And I told him, like, I'm leaving. I need you to come get our son, blah, 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 blah. He was like, all right, or whatever. I sent some hesitant in him, but he was like, all right, or whatever. I'm going to be there. So I think he showed up. It was late, probably like 10, 11 o'clock or whatever. I'm still going back and forth with my mother. So he show up and he like, well, what you want to do? So I'm like, I need you to take our son and I need to get myself together. So I need you to take our son or whatever. He was like, okay, all right. Okay. So he's like, where you going to stay at? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to stay in the shelter. I don't know. So he was like, all right, no, you're not staying in the shelter. I got you. I ain't gonna have you stay in the shelter. This is the type of attitude he took, and this is why I thought like he was just everything. Let me see. Uh, I've seen her paperwork. She told on her homegirl and got her locked up. I don't know who paperwork that is. I don't know what that comment is about, but okay. But anyway, so that we left or whatever. He took me to a motel, not a hotel, a motel. Like there's a big difference between a motel and a hotel. He took me to a motel. Not far. Well, actually, it was kind of far from where I was living at the time. But anyway, he paid for the motel or whatever for like a couple nights or whatever. I think he stayed that night and then that next night he had my son or whatever and everything. So looking back at it now, it's so crazy. It is so crazy. So to me, I didn't I didn't realize like the depth of it. Like I didn't realize so much about the situation or whatever. But now I can look back at it in a different perspective as being married, as having a husband or whatever, as having a whole family or whatever. And this man, first of all, he was cheating on his fiance or whatever and everything. First of all, then I had a baby, and now he's bringing this baby to the house where he lived at. So I can imagine that created a lot in their household. But at the time where I was in my life, like I really didn't care. But looking back at it, that must have been a lot. But anyway, back to me. All right, so I'm in this motel or whatever and everything. So I was, I had a job, I think I went on the interview. I think I got the job, but I was waiting for my start date. So my start date was like a week out or something. I've seen, I'm posting the paperwork tomorrow. Don't get brand new. Okay, all right. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm about the because I have no idea. Like I don't what homegirl. Um, yeah, I never got anybody locked up, so I don't know what paperwork you're talking about. Um, it probably a troll. So like you got one more time. Okay. So anyway, um, that just threw me off my. So I was waiting for my start date. So he paid for the motel room or whatever for like 2 nights or whatever. And I was waiting for my start date. I know I got the job. And I remember like the third or fourth night, I had called him like, can you come and pay more time on the motel room? And he was like, all right, I'll be there tonight. He ain't never show up. So I think that next night, the people from the motel or whatever, the manager, whatever, they was like, yeah, like this should you gotta go. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, well, I said my baby father name, he ain't come pay on it. And they was like, no. So I'm like, so I'm trying to call him. I can't get a hold of him because I don't think I had a cell phone at that time. I don't know. I ain't had no cell phone. Um, so I couldn't get a hold of him. So like the manager was like, yeah, you gotta get your stuff out of the room and you gotta be out. So like I ain't know what to do. So I started crying. Like I started crying. Like I don't have nowhere to go. Like what I'm gonna do. So the manager was like, look, I'm gonna let you stay tonight, but in the morning, you gotta be out of here. So I was like, okay, all right. So I stayed that night. I really ain't know what my plans was, what I was going to do. So the next night I rode the train. The train stops around 12 o'clock. And then I rode the buses like all night or whatever and everything. I don't know who told me to go to social services or whatever, but I went to social services or whatever, to tell them I have no place to stay and everything, and they gave me a shelter name or whatever. But the shelter was all the way out, like it was all the way out. Like, so I'm in Baltimore. It was out Rosedale. So I was like how I'm gonna get out there. Then they said you gotta be there at 7 o'clock. Check-in is at 7 o'clock. If you're not there at 7 o'clock, then you ain't gonna have nowhere to, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be able to get in. So I'm like, all right, I don't really have nowhere to go at this point. So I go out there. I go out there. I see all the homeless people, whatever. Now I'm young. I'm like 18. So like seeing all these homeless people like I'm homeless. Like I'm homeless at this point. So like, all right, so check in. I see everybody walking out. So I remember like this older lady, she was like, keep your stuff, keep your stuff. Don't let nobody take your stuff. Keep your stuff. And you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, like, all right. So I go check in or whatever and everything. And they give you gotta line up to get a cot. If you don't get a cot, if you don't get a cot in time, then you ain't gonna have no cot. You they gonna give you some blankets to sleep on the floor for real. So thankfully I got to get a cot or whatever. And they got a shower, you can use the shower, whatever. So like it had been like 2 days at least since I had a shower. So I had to go take a shower for real. So I went, I took a shower. I think they give you food. I think they give you food or something or whatever. But I was just so overwhelmed. Like I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to eat anything. Like I couldn't believe I was in this situation. And then I was thinking about what the police had said. Like, you ever been to a shelter? You don't want to take your baby to a shelter. And I was looking around at all these homeless people and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, the police was right. Like, I definitely ain't want to bring my baby here. This is a lot. So I remember that first night, and I actually met a guy at the shelter too. Oh my God. Anyway, I remember I remember that first night or whatever and everything. So then like that second night, and I think I didn't start my job until like a week later or whatever. So that second night, I remember when I went, it was like a whole family. Like it was like little kids or whatever, like 2, 3, and then they had like a 9-month-old baby or whatever. And then I guess it was the mother and then a grandmother. And then I even think it was an aunt. So it was a whole family, like they was homeless living in the shelter. So I'm like, okay, whatever, and everything. Um, so at this point, actually, I think this was like a weekend for real. Because a couple nights here and there, I just rode the bus all night and stayed on the train as long as I could for real. Because a couple nights I just didn't want to go there, whatever. But I remember this was like towards my last night. I started my job. I did start my job. Nobody in my job didn't know I was homeless. Like nobody didn't know, whatever. Um, I remember I did start my job already. So I think this was the last night that I stayed at the shelter. And this is what did it for me. So the family, I remember the family came in one night. I remember that. And I remember looking at the grandmother. She looked like she get high, whatever. So that was like, okay, all right. I seen that before, okay. But what really got me is like this second night when I was there, and the grandmother was feeding the baby or whatever. And she had the spoon up to the baby mouth or whatever. But she was so high. And this made me cry. This really made me cry. Like it really, and even now thinking about it kind of chokes me up for real. So the baby, she had the spoon feeding the baby or whatever. Just the spoon, she feeding the baby or whatever. She was so high and she kept nodding out. She kept nodding out and moving the spoon away from the baby mouth. And the baby was like trying to get the spoon, but she was so high. Like she kept nodding out and stuff like that. That was it. That was it for me. Because she was so high. And the baby was trying to eat, and the baby head just every time the baby mouth get close to the spoon, like she would nod out more. That was it. I'm not even gonna lie. That took me all the way out. That took me out. Um, so I have been working on my job for like a week now or whatever. And you know, anytime you get a new job, it's like at least 3-4 weeks before you get your first paycheck. So I ain't have nowhere else to go. I ain't have nothing to do. Like I hadn't talked to my mother since I left the house for real. So I had rode the bus all night or whatever and everything. And somehow I winded up back at my mother's house or whatever. So I'm like, well, what am I going to tell my mother to get back in the door? Like, what am I going to tell her? So I knocked on the door. My mother came to the window or whatever. And she like, can I help you? So I'm like, Ma, like I had to come up with something. And now it's like, it's so funny reflecting and looking at things and how my kids or my oldest son come at me. It's just really funny. It's like, anyway. So I'm like, Mom, um, did I get any mail today? So my mother like, no, why? And I'm like, oh man. So I'm outside the door. I'm downstairs. She looking out the window. She ain't even come to the door. She looking out the window at me, right? So I'm like, oh man, oh man, oh man. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Oh man, oh man. So my mother like, what's going on? So I'm like, I was supposed to get paid today, and I was gonna take that check and get me somewhere to stay for the night. And she was like, "You don't have nowhere to stay." I'm like, "No, no, I don't know what I'm gonna do because my check ain't come. Knowing daggone well my check ain't come for another 2 weeks for real." So she was like, all right. So she came down to the door. She said, you can stay here or whatever and everything, but like since you left, you don't have no room, you don't have no bed, like you gotta sleep in the living room on the couch. Like, so I'm like, I was so grateful to sleep in the living room on the couch because from that whole experience, it taught me something. It really taught me something. Um, I shouldn't have put myself in that situation. I shouldn't even been in that situation. Furthermore, like to be homeless with your children, I'm not going to say that's a bad thing because life happens to everybody. But if you can prevent it, you better prevent that shit. Like, you better prevent that. Like, yeah, you got to do what you got to do. Now, from that situation, I'm going to say that I've never been homeless again since then. But I have been in some, I don't even know if I've been in some messed up situations. I've been in some really messed up situations. But I knew like at the end of the day, I gotta provide a roof for these children. And at the time, once I had my other child, I had children now. But I gotta provide a roof for these children. So, like, if I gotta go a couple nights without eating, then I gotta do what the F I gotta do. Like, yeah, if I gotta do what I gotta do. And like I said, I've been in some messed up situations. I've been in situations where as though I had eviction notices on my door and I didn't get the money until the minute before they was about to actually evict me. But I got the money. Like, you got to do what you got to do. Like, it's services out here or whatever. You gotta utilize these services. You gotta utilize these services to the best of your ability when you have children. And as a single mom, it is so hard. And people, and I talk about the struggle of being a single mom all the time because I was a single mom and I understand what it is to be a single mom. I understand what it is. The whole world is against you. Everybody, the men, the school system, everybody is against you. Everybody looking at you like a statistic. Everybody. You got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do, and I mean that with everything in my heart. Whatever you got to do to protect them children, you got to do what you got to do. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that there. But yeah, that woke me up. That was definitely a reality check for me. It changed my whole attitude towards my mother. And I slept on the couch at my mother's house for a little bit. And my that's around the time when I got back with, well, my second son's dad. So me and my son's dad, we went to high school together. And around this time, I kind of ran back into him, and we was talking at that time, whatever, and we was kind of like in the same type of situation. I was sleeping on the couch at my mother's house. He was sleeping on the couch at his mother's house. So we was 18, so we got together like, well, we might as well just get a place for real. And we did. We got a place. So that was the segue into my first apartment. So I told the story about how things didn't work out with that and everything. But yeah, that's how I eventually got out of my mother's house. I did stay on my mother's couch for it was some months for real. For some months. But my mother didn't have to do that. She didn't have to do that. And sometimes you gotta be humbled. Sometimes you gotta be humbled in life to bring you down. Like, hey, you doing too much for real. You doing too much for real. And that situation really, truly, honestly humbled me. So, like, yeah, that's my first priority. My husband say that, I'm a worry ward and I stress out a lot. But my first priority is to prioritize a roof over top of my children's head. Like, whatever I got to do, I'm going to prioritize a roof over top of my children's head. So, yeah, that's it. 47 minutes. All right. Let's get to the oil. Thank you so much for being here. If you liked the live already, thank you. If you have not liked the live, please make sure that you like the live. So I just redid like the back of my hair last week. Now I'm gonna try to go live again on Saturday. I think I want to talk about teacher bay and teacher base. That's a big topic, so I do want to talk about that. And my hair feels so much better now. I'll have these mini twists in my hair for another up until October. The end of October, I'll take these out. And I got my massager here. I should cut my nails. Look at that. Why it's so important to make sure that you trim your nails. I got hair in my nails. I don't know if I should be doing this. This. But I do need to massage my scalp. Get that peppermint oil all in my scalp. Get the blood flow going. I must got getting old. I swear, I must got some arthritis or something. My fingers keep cramping up. Peppermint oil smells really good. Oh. I'm still laughing at this comment. Like, she told on her homegirl and got her locked up. What homegirl? And who would I? What? Let me find out. Let me find out. I don't even, because I'm trying to think like what homegirl could I tell on? Like, what would I tell on? Like, um, what type of life is people living? Because I go to work. I don't participate in criminal activity. So, what? I don't know. That's just so funny to me. I'm posting the paperwork tomorrow. Don't act brand new. What paperwork? If I told on my homegirl, because I'm just rambling on right now because I got a few minutes. I need to make an hour. But what? Oh, I guess okay. If I told on my homegirl, I guess my name would be in the paperwork of telling on her. Well, why would I tell on her? What was we doing? Like, I'm a fool. Cause like the only homework girl I can remember, I need to do a story time about that. I think I will. Like, yeah, I think it's time for me to do that story time. But even in that situation, that was years and years ago. Um, we wasn't doing anything for me to tell on her. Um, I think because I don't technically know. I think she was sleeping with my boyfriend at the time. Um, but how can she get in trouble for sleeping with my boyfriend? Let me think. No, I don't. Yeah, I don't recall any situations like that. Um, yeah, mm, that is hilarious to me. I need to screenshot that comment. Can I screenshot while I'm on? Yeah, that is hilarious to me. I need to go check out this person page to go look at the paperwork. Like, is that referring to me though? Maybe it's not referring to me. But then they said, don't act brand new. What? So I guess it would be about me if I'm trying to act brand new. Cause yeah, cause let me tell you, I'm not about that jail life. I am not. I am absolutely not. Like I'm not. Uh, no parts of it. Like y'all can keep that jail life and that illegal life, anything that's dealing with anything illegal, y'all can have it. I'm not about that. Me, I'ma keep my little 9 to 5 job, and if I don't have my 9 to 5 job, I go get me another 9 to 5 job. And yeah, I'm gonna keep it pushing. I don't participate in illegal activity. Like if I think that you participating in illegal activity, I'm gonna get my I'm gonna get my ass far away from you. Cause like yeah, jail is not the place to be. Not at all. None of my homegirls that I ever had, we don't participate in illegal activities. So like I could never be have nothing to tell on them on because we don't. Yeah, we don't do stuff like that. And the homegirls I used to have and the things I used to do, um, the most that we doing is well, the most that we was doing is messing around with men. Like so, I don't know nothing about it. I really don't. Like I'm what you call a square, and I'm proud to be a square. Like I am really proud to be a square. I don't deal with the street life. I do thank God for the people that was placed in my life to make sure that I wasn't a part of things. Because I remember, since we got a few minutes here, I do remember a couple times when I didn't have the rent money. And the first idea I always used to get back then was, I'm gonna go strip. I'm gonna go strip because I need to pay these bills. I need to pay this rent. But thankfully, I had people in my life. I had a best friend in my life. As soon as I would tell my best friend that idea, my best friend would help me out. Like, yeah. So I ain't never even got to swing off a pole, but that was my first thought every time I was in the jam. Like, oh, I'm gonna go to the strip joint. I'm gonna go strip. But thankfully, I had people in my life that made sure I never touched the pole. So that was the closest that I was going to ever get to like the street life or illegal life or whatever. And I never even made it to the pole. Thankfully, thankfully. So yeah, I don't know what that comment is about, but I definitely want to investigate. Soon as I get off this live, I'm going to investigate. Like, who is this person? Is it just a troll? Like, is that what trolls really be doing? Just come to people live and say random stuff? Like, now that one definitely took me for a loop. All right. Okay. I think I done massage my hair out of place, but it'll be all right. I need to cut that nail. Uh, uh, uh. This is why you should use gloves when you doing your hair. Look at this. That's hair and my nails. All right. We hit the hour. All right. If you was here, thank you for liking the live. If you did not like the live, please make sure that you like the live. I'll see you guys in the next one. I think I should be live Saturday. I should be live Saturday. I want to talk about teacher day. Like, yeah. All right, you guys. Thank you for being here.